about the danger of Donald Trump, what Joe Biden is doing to fight for you and your family.
Kevin, the graphics organizers for this show, as they often do, just read my mind. I want to talk to you about our new CBS News polling out of Georgia. Let's bring those numbers back up again. It shows former President Trump leading 51% to 48% over President Biden. Margin of error, notably in that poll, 3.9%, so it's in the margin of error. How seriously concerned are you about the president's status in Georgia?
Well, I think it's really important to know, Major, and you know this better than most, Georgia is a close state. It was in 2020, it was in 2022, and it absolutely will be close in 2024. What we are going to do is not ask, but earn the support of the coalition that sent us to the White House from Georgia, like we did in 2020. And what we saw last night in those primaries on the Republican side, I think some 60,000 or so Republicans voted against Donald Trump. That is 60,000 voters that do not want him to be reelected, and are opportunities for Joe Biden to pick up in a state that we won by 11,000 votes last time. So look, it's a hard state. We're putting in the work. You saw the president there last weekend talking to the diverse coalition that is critical in the state. And on the other side, you have Donald Trump, who attacks Haley supporters. Today announced that they're doing no outreach to communities of color. It couldn't be further from the story that we're telling on our side.
Kevin, the former president has said that he wants to debate the president anytime, anywhere, under any conditions with any moderator. Will the president take him up on that?
I think it's really funny that Donald Trump keeps saying things from Truth Social when he just stays in the basement of Mar-a-Lago. I don't think he's done any campaigning this week while the president's been out there. But look, Major, the president is traveling the country, talking to the voters who will decide this election. We haven't had the conversation about something that may happen in August, but what I can say is the debate plays out every time Joe Biden talks about what he is fighting for and what Donald Trump is fighting for, which is bad, it's rejected, it's toxic, and it's not the American way.
Kevin, looking at the electoral map from 2020, can you identify a state that candidate Biden lost that President Biden will win in 2024?
Oh, look, we're going to be competing in the critical states that sent us to the White House back in 2020, but we absolutely see opportunity. And I think look no further than a state like North Carolina, where the Republican gubernatorial candidate has openly mused about attacking political opponents, literally with violence, who has said that women shouldn't vote, that has been a part of some of these insurrection conversations that have been very repulsive to swing voters. So this is a state where we're going to be talking about the full suite of the issues on the line. North Carolinians know the impact of MAGA Republican leadership that took away women's rights, and that's why you've seen us really investing heavily in that state so far.
The consensus, Kevin, is that Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia are probably the three states in which the president is currently most vulnerable. Of those three, which concern you the most?
I think we feel really good about the opportunity we have, not just through the Rust Belt, not just in North Carolina, but on these Sun Belt states like Georgia, like Nevada, like Arizona, where the president's agenda is making a real impact on economic opportunity. These are states, Arizona and Georgia, where abortion rights are very much on the ballot. And these are states where MAGA Republicans continue to run candidates that run absolutely counter to the values of their population. So look, every state is going to be close. Our country is divided, and we need to put in the work to talk about who is fighting for Social Security, who is fighting for addressing gun violence, who is fighting for the middle class. It's only Joe Biden.
Kevin Munoz, as always, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Hello.
Good morning. I was calling in hopes to speak with Julio.
Speaking.
Hi, Julio. It's Octavius with Executive Codes and Contracting. I got a text message, and I believe a phone call is giving you a call back.
What's up?
that shit was fucking up, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know if it was blocked up on your end or not.
Please leave your message for
Yo, what's up, Baseball King? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the live. You know, we just chilling. We just working on the snow day. It's crazy snowy out. 2 foot in the springs. We got about a foot here. It's crazy, crazy. Baseball King in the house with the high. Buenos días, patrón.
Buenos dias, what's up, man?
Hey, so we got a problem. Meridian Gardens, the building that we didn't roof, is leaking again. We already sent Edgar out there to do a repair. I mean, I don't think it's their fault, but I'm calling because it's gonna get more expensive. Like if we keep sending him out there and it's not even a warranty job, it's just like we're doing a favor.
No, well, shouldn't be a favor anymore. It should be change orders.
Yeah, and so I still need change orders from the first time we sent him, but I haven't got anything back yet. Or I mean, like a price. I mean,
Okay.
so I said that they can go out there, but I want to talk to you because it's like,
No, they can. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll deal with the change orders, but just give me the, if it's a different unit or the same one.
it's the north building, yeah, and it's the same unit. I think it's all the snow today. It's just more and more holes, you know, because the roof is bad. It's a shitty roof.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And the thing is, I don't think guys can do anything today anyway, so.
no, I told them that no one's going out there today because it'll be too dangerous. If anything, it might be tomorrow or the next day, and they said that's fine. Just let them know.
I might have to be on Saturday or Monday at this point, so. Alright.
All right, brother.
Sounds good, sounds good. So yeah, those rails are dry.
Yeah, they're dry. I touched every single one, and I don't have any coating on my hands.
Perfecto. I'm gonna tell the guys to come. They're
Perfect.
working right now, but I'm gonna tell them to swing by and pay them.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be here.
Right on. Thank you.
Awesome. If you need anything else, just let me know.
No, yeah, that's it. I just sent you that text because I'm gonna need that pure white.
Okay.
A new job got approved something in Springs and it requires pure white, so.
Got it.
Yeah. And then what else? Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys were gonna do, put some of the paint away. If not, we'll do it tomorrow.
Got it.
Alrighty.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna throw anything that's
Everybody
like.
get good and
Yeah, they already
still at
left.
the office?
We did the we did our meeting already. We shoveled.
Yeah, I was in the Zoom call, but I don't want to sound rude, but
That was dumb.
I've been doing that shit for 5 years.
I know.
Before Friday, I took care of all of that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just a lot of nonsense, a lot of bureaucracy that they're trying to do. You know.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if you were with us or you came with us when Brianna was around. She was good, and me and her, we had a like, hey, this is done, she'll bill it right away. Hey, this is done, she'll bill it right away. I've been telling Jen so many times, hey, this is done, this is done, this is done. Nothing.
All right, I'll work on that one.
Before text or call to the other gal, and she'll jump on it.
Okay.
Whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's something we can work on, and if you want me to, I'll talk to Jen.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Let's have Mike do his fucking job. So
I know.
So they don't watch your fucking videos, so.
Watching Home Depot videos.
Home Depot videos, watching YouTube.
Yeah. Shit, well, alright, I won't keep you too long, but if you need anything, just let me know, Pato.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys,
Thank you.
see ya. Talking to my supervisor, you gotta keep him happy. Keep him happy, making sure that he knows that I'm here for him for whatever he needs, as long as it's work related. I'm you, only Veer. I don't know what that means, though. I'm the only one watching. There's 2 people in here. I don't know. Maybe you are. Sometimes there's 0, so I'm never worried about who's watching. It's more of like a thing for me, right? If there's people here, it's a benefit. But it's just like something I could give to my kids, something that I can look back on. Sometimes I'm weird like that. It is what it is. Easier for me to do this than try to like record myself. Yeah, you know me from where? Where do you know me from? Where I know you from, dog? Now I got 2. What's up? Zah Colombian, welcome to the stream. You might have been here. I know you. I know you keep saying that, but I don't play baseball, so I don't know you. Your dad? Who's your dad? Baseball king, my dad. I know you, my dad. I hope you're not my son, bro. Cause you didn't spell no wrong so many times. I have failed as a father. I have failed. Let me look you up. Let me see who Baseball King is. I know you because my dad worked with you. My dad worked with you.
Are you guys ready?
Shit, I don't know, bro. I don't know Baseball King. I don't know any dads. Let's see. New subscriber, the Baseball King. Let's see. You a Rockies fan? There is no way you know me, bro. There is no way you know me, Baseball King. I'll subscribe though. Now you got 222 subscribers. Or maybe it's not working. I'm gonna go watch your most recent video. That's you right there, boy. Ooh. That's that Baseball King. Yes, sir. 2 videos, the same exact video. Yes, sir. That's funny. You got 2 of the same exact video back to back on different days. All right, I'll go on your live, bro. That's a hundo. That's a hundo. You can't even go live. All right, I'm here right now. I'm here at your channel, but I don't see no live. Baseball King, boy. Welcome everybody. Welcome Baseball King to the chat. Everybody to the chat.
This is Trey. He
don't even have no live. Vanilla Family Night Routine. Did you really record for a whole hour of this game?
Let's go ahead and do that.
I'm so happy you didn't record a whole hour and some change this game. Damn, Baseball King, your shit is private. Your live is private, Baseball King. I can't join it. Bro, I'm gonna go live. All right, yeah, go live, bro. But make sure it's not private, or I can't join it. Oh yeah, you was there. You was there, boy. Bro. I do not know your dad. You don't look like any of my coworkers. You don't look like any of my coworkers. All right, bet. Shout out. All right. So I have to do this damn training. Then I also have to submit. Let's make it to do this. Let's make it to do this, boy. So this Biden shit back because you gotta vote this year, brother. Y'all gotta vote this year.
Good to see you. A couple of news items before we get to politics today. In Georgia, 6 of the 41 counts brought by the Fulton County District Attorney were dismissed against former President Trump and some of the other co-defendants. Your reaction?
Yes, well, President Trump's legal team, who is the best in the business, put out a statement earlier today saying that they feel as though the judge made the right decision on the basis of the law, dismissing 4 of these counts against the former president in Fulton County. However, we also strongly believe that this case in its entirety should be dismissed. not just for the alleged unethical misconduct waged between Nathan Wade, the lead prosecutor in this case, and Fani Willis herself, but also on the basis of the law. So we will continue to fight for truth in this case, and the president believes that he will be exonerated of all of the charges that are being brought against him.
Caroline, does anything that happened today suggest anything to the campaign about what may happen on the pending matter before the judge about the continuance or lack thereof of District Attorney Fani Willis?
Well, we'll have to see what the judge decides.
Shout out to
However,
Baseball
we
King for
have
coming in,
said and strongly
chatting with your
believe
boy.
that Fani Willis is in no position to bring this case forward based on the allegations made against her and also on the basis of the law. There is no legal grounding for this case, and President Trump's team has said that from the beginning.
The House of Representatives, as you will know, Caroline, today passed with a rather large margin a bill that would effectively ban TikTok. If the bill were to reach President Trump, should he be reelected, would he sign it?
Well, that bill will likely be heading to President Biden's desk if it makes it to the Senate, so that's a question for him. However, on the issue of TikTok, President Trump in 2020 took very strong action via executive order because he believes that TikTok is a national security threat to the American public. The president also understands that this is a wildly popular app used by millions of Americans across the country to create content. And so he wants legislation that will protect the privacy, security, and data of all Americans, but will also ensure that we can have American ownership of this company and divest from Chinese ownership to ensure that millions of Americans can still use the app. He'll defer to Congress on the details of how that gets done, but the president certainly wants to see a solution that works for all Americans.
But just to be clear, if he were president and this bill were before him, would he or would he not sign it?
I will not comment on the merits of this specific bill. What I will say is that the president believes that TikTok does pose a national security threat. He wants to see the privacy and the data of all Americans protected, and he wants to see the app still be able to be used by millions of Americans across the country.
Today, Janet Yellen, in an interview with Fox Business Channel, said she regrets saying in 2021 that inflation would be transitory. Your reaction?
Well, we've seen that Janet Yellen and Joe Biden and the Biden White House, their tax and spend policies and their hike of the federal interest rate has led to the worst inflation crisis in generations. Prices are still 20% higher than they were when President Trump left office and Joe Biden took office. The jobs report from last month was not good for Joe Biden's administration. Inflation rose once again by 3.1%. And so Janet Yellen is, of course, walking back her comments and her claims. Whether inflation has gone down, that's what the Biden White House is claiming overall. It doesn't mean much to the American voter who is still spending thousands of dollars more every single year just to have the same quality of life as they were under President Trump's leadership.
And I know you know this, Caroline, but the White House didn't raise interest rates. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates. Earlier this week on CNBC, when asked about entitlements, former President Trump said there is a lot you can do in terms of cutting. That's a direct quote. Was he advocating in that response for cuts in the future to entitlements?
No, absolutely not. And thanks for giving us the opportunity to clarify what the president said. He was referring to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse that we've seen plague Americans such as entitlement programs, including Social Security and Medicare, for far too long. The president has always said he will protect Social Security for hardworking seniors across this country. He did it in his first term. He will continue to strongly protect Social Security benefits in his second term.
Does that also include Medicare and Medicaid?
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to read you something I came across today from Axios. Democrats' advantage among Black, Latino, and Asian voters is at its lowest since 1960, Financial Times columnist and chief data reporter John Byrne Murdoch found by analyzing a massive set of polling data. Caroline Levitt, from your perspective, or the Trump campaign's perspective, is that a permanent state of being?
Yes, absolutely, because all Americans, Hispanic Americans, African Americans, independent voters, women are realizing that their lives are worse off today than they were under President Trump's leadership. We had a secure border under President Trump. Now we've had a border crisis. Nearly 10 million illegal immigrants have come into this country under Joe Biden's administration. We had peace around this world under President Trump. Now we've seen Russia invasion of Ukraine. We've seen Iranian-backed terrorists in the Middle East launching brutal attacks on our friend and nation ally Israel. And President Trump's economy was booming, both pre and post pandemic. Now we've had the worst most inflation crisis in a generation. All Americans are feeling the consequences of Joe Biden's policies, and that's why he's losing his base. He virtually does not have a base left, and it's why President Trump is in the strongest position to win than he ever has been since 2016.
Very quickly, Caroline, in Georgia yesterday, even though it was effectively over and everyone knew it, 87,273 participants in the Republican primary voted for someone not named former President Trump. Does that in any way worry the campaign, and is there going to be an outreach to those disaffected Republicans still not on board?
We welcome all Republicans, independents, and even disillusioned Democrats to join President Trump in this fight to save our country. He is now the Republican nominee of the Republican Party, and we are 100% focused on defeating Joe Biden so we can restore peace and prosperity and safety to America. This is a binary choice on November the 5th. If we want to continue the chaos and the destruction that have been created by Joe Biden's policies, then he's your guy. But if you want to secure our southern border, bring peace around this world, and rebuild our military and our economy, then President Trump is the only option.
Caroline Levitt, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Major.
Welcome to the Genie Online Mobile Elevating Work Platform, or MEWP, Operator Training Program. This training is designed to be general in nature, since it covers safe operating procedures for most types of mobile elevating work platforms. After completing this program, operators must be familiarized with a specific model
That's
of
disrespectful.
mobile elevating work platform prior to use.
The disrespect is unreal.
This course consists of 5 key areas of learning and proficiency demonstration. We're going to talk about terminology and applications, responsibility, safety, operation, and finish with hands-on. Please note, upon successfully completing this training course, you must schedule hands-on training with a qualified trainer to complete the training program. Also, please note the icons used in navigating in the course. This course is expected to take 3 to 4 hours. If you need to leave the course for any reason, you may return at any time and resume where you left off. The quizzes and final exam will consist of multiple choice, true and false, and matching questions. You can take the test multiple times until a passing score of 100% is achieved. You can access, free of charge, all Genie Mobile Elevating Work Platform Operators Manuals by visiting www.genielift.com. Review the appropriate operator's manual prior to operating a Genie Mobile Elevating Work Platform during your hands-on proficiency demonstration. The most important thing we can teach you today is to rely on the appropriate operator's manual for the MEWP you are learning to operate. It contains all the safety rules and operating instructions you will need, as well as important contact information for Genie regarding any questions you might have. During this course, we will be discussing some of the content found in the operator's manual for Genie products. However, you should always read and understand the entire contents of the operator's manual prior to operating any MEWP, and seek familiarization for models you have not operated previously. Please read the statement and check the box to continue. Upon completion of this course, you should be able to identify the different types of Genie mobile elevating work platforms, describe the responsibilities of all parties involved in the operation of MUPS, identify safe operating procedures for all types of MUPS, and explain the process for obtaining the hands-on training. You have completed the introduction section. If you passed, please press the Return to Main Menu button and you'll be taken to the course directory. Once there, select Product Families to continue forward with the training. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to distinguish between the 6 classifications of MUPS: 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, and 3B, and list the distinguishing characteristics of each type. MUP is an acronym for Mobile Elevating Work Platforms. ANSI defines 6 classifications of MUPs. MUP classifications are made up of a combination of 2 key distinguishing descriptions: a MUP group and an associated MUP type.
Okay, as soon as possible, but let me know because it's an emergency. Work with Sammy on the page so we can get this taken care of with no hiccups, please. Thank you for reaching out to me quickly and have a great day, my friend. Perfecto!
A MUP group is determined by where the platform location is in reference to the tipping line. A Group A machine has a design that does not allow the main platform to extend beyond the tipping line. In other words, the platform does not go outside of the drive chassis envelope. A perfect example of a Group A machine would be a scissor lift. Conversely, a Group B machine has a design that allows the platform to extend beyond the tipping line. A great example of a Group B machine would be an articulating or telescopic boom. In addition to a MUP group, we have a MUP type. A MUP type is in reference to traveling. There are 3 MUP types. Type 1. Traveling with Type 1 MUPs is allowed only with the machine in its stowed position. I will give some examples of these in a moment. Type 2. Traveling with a Type 2 MUP with the work platform in the elevated position is controlled from a point on the chassis. And Type 3. Traveling with a Type 3 MUP with the work platform in the elevated position is controlled from a point on the work platform. Type 2 MUPs are not as common as the others. In fact, Genie does not manufacture any machines within this category. So, for the purposes of this training course, we will focus on Type 1 and Type 3 machines only. Let's take a look at some examples of the various MUP types. Again, traveling with Type 1 MUPs is allowed only with the machine in its stowed position. A great example of a Type 1 Group A MUP would be a manually propelled vertical lift. The platform never extends beyond the tipping line, and the machine is designed to only be moved with the platform in the stowed position. Trailer-mounted booms are perfect examples of a Type 1 Group B MUP. The platform is designed to extend beyond the tipping line, and the machine is designed to only be moved with the platform in the stowed position. Traveling with Type 3 MUPs with the platform in the elevated position is controlled from a point on the platform. A great example of a Type 3 Group A mute would be electric or rough terrain scissor lifts. The main platform never extends beyond the tipping line, and machine travel is controlled from the platform controls. Articulating and telescopic booms are perfect examples of a Type 3 Group B mute. The platform is designed to extend beyond the tipping line, and machine travel is controlled from the platform controls. Type 1 Group A or 1A stationary or manually propelled vertical mutes are economical and easy to transport and are often a good alternative to platform controlled vertical lifts. They're compact. Most models can roll through single or double doorways. They can also go on some elevators depending on elevator load capacity. They're relatively lightweight, so they are ideal for use on floors that only support limited loads. Also, these lifts are simple machines that are easy for one person to set up and operate. They're versatile. Multiple options such as narrow platforms and rough terrain tires, and accessories such as tool trays, fluorescent tube caddy, and locating laser light are available to customize the lift for every application. Common applications include indoor construction, contractors, HVAC installation, schools, universities, churches, hospitals, and shopping malls. They're also often used for maintenance and cleaning, as well as work in light floor load areas such as gymnasiums, theaters, and stages. Type 1 Group B or 1B stationary boom mutes combine the up and over access of an articulating boom with the convenience of a built-in trailer. A contractor can easily tow one of these units behind a pickup truck or utility vehicle, saving on delivery charges from the rental store. When towing, always observe the manufacturer's gross vehicle weight rating or GVWR. They provide an excellent working envelope with the ability to reach up and over obstacles, allowing workers to perform tasks faster and more efficiently than smaller, manually propelled products at a significantly lower cost than a self-propelled boom. A variety of hitch coupler options allow these machines to be towed behind pickups or SUVs, while hydraulic outriggers with automatic self-leveling allow an operator to quickly set up the machine for maximum productivity. Common applications include schools, museums, parks, retail, home construction, tree trimming, lighting, window washing, signs, and mechanical and electrical contractors. Type 3 Group A, or 3A, platform-controlled vertical mutes offer outstanding maneuverability and productivity-enhancing features. They are self-propelled, and most models have the ability to drive while fully elevated. Common platform-controlled mutes include scissor lifts and single personnel lifts. Scissor lifts get their name from their lifting mechanism design, which is a stack of cross tubes that work in a scissor-like fashion when the platform is raised and lowered. Type 3 Group A mutes are simple machines that are easy to operate and easy for one person to set up. They offer either 0-degree or high-angle turning radius for outstanding maneuverability in tight or congested job sites, and some are lightweight enough to fit in an elevator depending on the elevator load capacity. Some models are relatively lightweight, so they are ideal for use on floors that only support limited loads. Type 3 Group B, or 3B, platform-controlled mobile boom mutes fall into two categories of design: articulating and telescopic. Articulating Z-booms are mutes with multiple boom sections that hinge or articulate, allowing the operator to gain access to work areas over obstacles and barriers.
Technically,
Also referred to as knuckle booms or up and over booms, these versatile products are perfect for tight access and hard to reach areas. Common applications include outdoor construction and building maintenance. Telescopic S-booms are mutes with boom sections that extend telescopically. They are also commonly known as stick booms because of their straight appearance. Telescopic booms offer greater horizontal outreach than any other type of mute. S-booms with four-wheel drive and active oscillating axles are designed for maximum terrainability and traction.
that was just some random shit.
Some of the available features and options that make booms versatile in accessing work areas are platform rotation, jib, jib rotation, turntable rotate, four-wheel steering, oscillating axles, and four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel steering on these things
Common applications
is
include
so
large construction
important.
projects, steel erection, tilt panels, refineries, mechanical and electrical contractors, factories, food processing, manufacturing, maintenance, schools, and hospitals.
It's so situational that you need four-wheel steering, but when you need it, you're saving hours. Click on the blank and select the correct part name from the drop-down. 1. Manually propelled. So it's not a trailer mounted. It's not a scissor. And it's not a manually propelled elevating platform, because that's that. And number 2, manually propelled elevating platform. 3, that is scissors, because it's got the scissors going all the way up. And 4, trailer mounted Z-boom. Come on now. You know I get 100% on this shit. The most basic and least expensive of all aerial work platforms, manually propelled. Come on, we know this. We know this. Telescopic booms provide the greatest amount of horizontal outreach. Also referred to as knuckle booms or what? Articulating booms are perfect for hard to reach areas. Come on now, remember this. Trailer mounted booms can be towed behind. Is this shit? Sometimes the questions make me wonder, what is the average intelligence? Get their name from the lifting. Scissor lifts get their name from the lifting mechanisms. Of course it's 100%. Come on now.
You have completed the product
see
families
it?
section.
You see it?
If you passed,
Come on
please
now.
press the
Come
return
on
to
now.
main
Don't
menu
disrespect
button,
me.
and you will be taken to the course
Don't
directory.
disrespect me now. I'm doing
Once
3
there,
things.
select
Don't
responsibilities to
disrespect me.
continue forward with the training.
You seen it? 20 out of 20, boy.
Please read the statement and check the box to continue. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to list the regulatory bodies for mobile elevating work platforms in North America and define the responsibilities in the operation of MUPS per role: manufacturer, dealer, owner, user, supervisor, and operator.
Operator, I'm smooth operator.
This lesson is about your responsibilities as they pertain to the operation or ownership of a MUP.
Mute, boy. Mute, 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 mute.
Standards organizations worldwide are calling for clear training on who's responsible for what when operating mobile elevating work platforms, commonly referred to as MUPs.
Mutes. Mobile
In the United States,
elevating
the standards are established by the
controllable
American
platforms.
National Standards Institute,
Mobile
or ANSI.
elevating
The
work
recognized
platforms.
standard for mobile elevating work platforms is ANSI A92. ANSI A92 standards are enforced by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA.
OSHA.
Per ANSI A92, the user must designate a qualified person to monitor, supervise, and evaluate operators on a regular basis to ensure their proficiency. Examples of situations when retraining may be necessary include, but are not limited to, period, as determined by their employer, deterioration of the operator's performance, the operator's extended period of time with no operation of a MUP, the operator's introduction to new or significantly different MUP technology, or the operator has been involved in an accident or near-miss incident with the MUP. Much like ANSI in the United States, the Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, has published Canada's governing standard, CSA B354, for mobile elevating work platforms. CSA B354 standards are enforced by OHS, which is similar to OSHA in the US, and other provincial authorities. Each province has their own OHS, so it's important to be familiar with those rules and regulations that apply to the safe operation and maintenance of the MUP in your area. Per CSA B354, the operator must be trained or retrained as necessary to keep the level of proficiency at an acceptable level. Examples of situations when retraining may be necessary include, but are not limited to, expiration of the valid training period, which shall not exceed 5 years, deterioration of proficiency, following an accident or near-miss incident while operating or using a MUP,
Bro, did I
a
just hear this?
condition of the workplace changes in a manner that could affect the safe operation of the MUP, or new MUP technologies and working methods.
Did he just say this to me twice?
The American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, is the standards writing body for MUPs in the USA. Their web address is www.ansi.org. ANSI standards that apply to MUPs are under the designation of ANSI A92.
That was the first time.
These standards are developed by a consensus
That
body of
was the
industry
first one.
experts and are published and distributed by the A92 Secretariat, which is the Scaffold and Access Industry Association, or SAIA. The web address for SAIA is www.saiaonline.org. OSHA is a regulatory body responsible for enforcement of safe use rules and regulations in the USA. Their web address is www.osha.gov. In Canada, the standards writing body is the Canadian Standards Association, or CSA. Their web address is www.csagroup.org. The ANSI A92.22 standards in the United States and the CSA B354.7 standards in Canada detail the responsibilities of manufacturers, dealers, owners, users, supervisors, operators, occupants, lessors, lessees, and brokers. To begin, manufacturers are responsible for designing equipment that meets these recognized standards. The manufacturer also has responsibility to provide operational and maintenance instructions and to identify potential hazards associated with operating or repairing the machine. The dealer, who may rent or sell MUPs, should make sure that the machines they provide are properly maintained and ready for use. The dealer is also responsible for offering appropriate training and familiarization regarding proper machine operation and safety. The owner of a MUP could be the dealer in a rental situation, or may have the responsibility of a user if they are directing operators to operate a mobile elevating work platform. It is the owner's responsibility to make sure that the manufacturer's operators and any other safety manuals are in good condition and stored on the machine. And just like a dealer, the owner must properly maintain the machine to the manufacturer's specifications. The owner should always ensure that any personnel that they direct or authorize to use a MUP have received appropriate training and familiarization. The user, by definition, is the person or persons who are in the position of directing operators to use MUPs in their work. Most commonly, this is the employer. Like an owner, the user must provide appropriate training and familiarization, and make sure that the operators and safety manuals supplied by the manufacturer are in good condition and stored on the machine. The user must develop a safe use program specific to MUPs, which must include a site risk assessment and proper selection of a suitable MUP, as well as a written rescue plan that ensures that all applicable employees receive training that explains the procedures to follow if they fall in a weight rescue, witness another worker's fall, witness an elevated machine breakdown which strands the occupants, or witness platform entanglement with occupants in the platform. The user is responsible for only allowing trained, qualified, and authorized personnel to operate a MUP. The user is responsible for designating a qualified person to monitor, supervise, and evaluate operators on a regular basis to ensure that they have the skills necessary to do the job safely. The operator is a person who actually performs work using a MUP. It is the operator's responsibility to check that the operators and safety manuals are stored on the machine and are always read and understood before operation. The operator is responsible for operating the MUP within the limits of intended use as defined by the manufacturer in the operator's manual and job site and government regulations. This includes avoiding hazardous situations, performing a visual pre-operation inspection, performing comprehensive function tests prior to use, performing a workplace inspection, and only using the machine as the manufacturer intended. The operator is responsible for reporting any problems or malfunctions that occur before or during operation. And finally, the operator must ensure that all occupants in the platform have a basic level of knowledge to work safely on the MUP. In addition to these important standards, operators are subject to specific local, regional, and national workplace rules and regulations. So please check with the appropriate safety organizations for specific information that would apply to you. The operator's manual and any other manuals provided by the manufacturer are considered a permanent part of your machine and should remain with the machine at all times. Consult these manuals when you require specific information for your model of mobile elevating work platform. We encourage you to read the ANSI A92 and CSA B354 standards. You are required to know and understand your responsibilities as an operator before you operate any MUP. The manufacturer has responsibility of manufacturing the machine to dimensional, operational, structural, stability, and quality standards. As it pertains directly to the operation and maintenance of the MUP, the manufacturer has responsibility to provide operational and maintenance instructions and to identify the hazards associated with operating or repairing the machine. The manufacturer also has responsibility to provide training materials for the operator training course which you are participating in today. The dealer is responsible for delivering to the user or operator a machine that meets the manufacturer's standards for design, structural integrity, stability, and quality. The dealer must also provide safety and operating information required by the manufacturer.
I need some coffee. I need some coffee.
The dealer is responsible for offering appropriate training and familiarization, or have proof of training and familiarization for all of their employees whom they authorize to operate a MUP. When a dealer sells, leases, rents, or provides a MUP, when requested by the user, the dealer must offer operator training or advise the user where training can be obtained. The dealer is responsible for offering familiarization at delivery to the person receiving the MUP, unless the user has made alternate arrangements with the owner or dealer. The dealer is responsible for keeping all records of training for at least the period of time that the training is valid. The owner of the MUP could be the dealer in a rental situation, or may have the responsibilities of the user if he or she is directing operators to operate the machine. It is the owner's responsibility to provide the manuals as supplied by the manufacturer and to ensure that a copy of each is stored on the machine. The owner is responsible for ensuring that all maintenance and inspections have been performed on the machine as required by the manufacturer. These include frequent inspections, typically performed every 3 months, or if the machine has been out of service for 3 months or more, and annual inspections, a more detailed inspection performed by a qualified service technician no later than 13 months after the previous annual inspection. In the case where a MUP is being rented, arrangements must be made by the owner to identify the entity that will be responsible for the inspections and maintenance activities described in the standard. It is the responsibility of the owner to provide on the MUP a means to identify the date the last annual inspection was performed, as well as the interval at which annual inspections are required. The owner is responsible for offering appropriate training and familiarization, or have proof of training and familiarization for all of their employees whom they authorize to operate a MUP. The owner is responsible for keeping all records of training for at least the period of time that the training is valid.
Gosh,
By
damn, are they
definition,
saying this shit
the
over
user
and
is the
over
person or
again?
persons who are in the position of directing operators to use the MUP to perform work. Most commonly, this is the employer.
Why do I feel like
It is the user's responsibility to keep and maintain the manuals as supplied by the manufacturer and to ensure that a copy of each is stored on the machine.
sometimes these make you feel like you in
The
an
user must
episode
either
of
train
the
and
Twilight
familiarize
Zone, bro.
or ensure that personnel whom they authorize as operators and supervisors of operators have been trained and that operators have received unit-specific familiarization.
I swear to you.
The user must develop a safe use program specific to MUPs, which must include but not be limited to performing a site risk assessment to identify all hazards, develop control measures, and communicate the results with everyone affected, selection, provision, and use of a suitable MUP and associated equipment, access, preparation, and maintenance of the site to include an assessment that the support surface is adequate to support the weight of the MUP.
Support that weight, boy.
MUPE maintenance, including inspections and repairs as required.
You got you here.
Inform the operator of local site requirements and warn and provide the means to protect against identified hazards in the areas where the MUPE will be operated.
Such as trees, power lines,
Have a trained and qualified supervisor to monitor the performance or the work of the operator to ensure compliance with provisions of the standards, prevention of unauthorized use of the MUPE, and safety of persons not involved in the operation of the MUPE. Before a job starts and periodically throughout a long-term job, the risk assessment must be reviewed to determine if any part of the job or the work environment has changed and the effect that it could have on the safety of the operation. If any modifications to the risk assessment are required, these must be communicated to everyone involved prior to resuming the job.
Thank you.
The user must develop a written rescue plan that will be carried out in the case of machine breakdown, platform entanglement, or fall from platform. The plan must be put in writing and become part of the company's training manual. All occupants in the platform and other applicable personnel must receive training that explains the procedures to follow if they fall in a weight rescue or witness another worker's fall. The plan must limit the time that a properly restrained worker hangs suspended in the air. Even a person properly fitted with a full body harness may begin to experience suspension trauma within a very short period of time. According to ANSI Z359.4.6.1, a recommended goal for rescue subject contact is less than 6 minutes. Rescue plans can include the following: self-rescue by the person involved, assisted rescue by others in the work area, or technical rescue by emergency services.
Bruh. Why isn't there not just one course for one thing? I feel like they just say the same shit in every single course, my guy.
The user is responsible for designating a qualified person to monitor, supervise, and evaluate operators on a regular basis to ensure that they have the skills necessary to do the job safely. The evaluations should be documented and retained by the user. Some examples of situations when retraining may be required include, but are not limited to, the operator's valid training period has expired as determined by the user, the operator's performance has deteriorated, the operator's gone an extended period of time without operating a MUPE, the operator has been assigned to operate a MUPE with new or significantly different technology, or the operator has been involved in an accident or near-miss incident with a MUPE. The user must ensure that anyone who operates a MUPE or directly supervises MUPE operators is trained in the following: how to properly select the correct MUPE for the work to be performed, the rules, regulations, and standards that apply to MUPEs, including the provisions for safe use, training and familiarization, and the work to be performed, how to identify and avoid potential hazards associated with the operation of MUPEs, and understand that the manufacturer's operator's manuals are an integral part of the MUPE and must be stored in the weather-resistant compartment on the machine when not in use. The user must ensure that maintenance and repair personnel are trained by a qualified person to inspect and maintain the MUPE in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations and ANSI and CSA standards. The user is responsible for keeping all records of training for at least the period of time that the training is valid. The person who actually operates the MUPE is the operator. The operator is responsible for operating the MUPE within the limits of intended use as defined by the manufacturer in the operator's manual and job site and governmental regulations. The operator is responsible for ensuring that he or she has received proper training and is familiar with the specific model of MUPE to be operated. It is the operator's responsibility to check that the manuals are in the storage box on the platform and read them before operation. The operator is responsible for visually inspecting the MUP at the beginning of each shift and for performing the function test in accordance with manufacturer's recommendations. The operator is responsible for reporting any problems or malfunctions that occur before or during operation. Any such identified problems or malfunctions shall be repaired prior to continued operation. The operator is responsible for performing the workplace risk assessment, including rescue planning. And finally, the operator must ensure that all occupants in the platform have a basic level of knowledge to work safely on the MUP. This includes the requirement to use fall protection and the location of fall protection anchors, factors including how their actions could affect stability, the safe use of any accessories that they are assigned to use, any site-specific work procedures the occupants must follow related to the operation of the MUP, hazards related to the task at hand and their avoidance, and manufacturer's warnings and instructions. At least one of the occupants must be provided with the knowledge to operate the platform controls in an emergency where the operator cannot. If you have any questions regarding the safe operation of any mobile elevating work platform, stop immediately and seek assistance from a qualified person.
The person who actually operates the aerial work platform. The user. It's operator, sorry guys. Could be the dealer in a rental situation, or may have responsibility of the user if she is directing the operation. The operator has responsibility of manufacturing the machine. The person or persons who are in the position of directing operators to use the aerial platform. That's an owner responsible for delivering to the user or operator machine that meets the dealer. I failed,
The
guys.
person who
Could be the dealer in a rental situation. Oh, I'm a fucking loser. I mixed up two of them. I'm a failure. User and owner are different. Which publications must be kept on aerial platform at all time? Operator manual, that's it, buddy.
You have completed the responsibilities section.
100%.
If you passed, please press the Return to Main menu button and you will be taken to the
Just
course
so you
directly.
know.
Once there, select Safety to continue forward with the training. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to understand the information found on Genie product safety decals and explain the use
Alright,
of
y'all.
symbols,
That's enough for
color
today.
coding, and signal
Peace.
words.
Thanks for joining whoever did,
Describe
and
the
see
specific
you soon.
potential hazards associated with